you don't interact with people you don't love. And which is why offices tend to be a problem. Because you're being forced to be together. And some people you're not choosing to be with. So, owing to the choice.
It's a choice.
Yes.
Vulnerability begets vulnerability. I don't think there's anything as scary as being vulnerable with your emotions. Undressing, I mean, you do that every other day, even if it's by yourself. But then by the time you're showing someone...
Did she just say undressing? Like,
Yeah.
like...
Yes.
Even if you're by yourself,
to do.
it's easy to do.
That's easy to do. But then showing someone you're in even the things you're not able to confront yourself. Hi guys, welcome back to the More to Follow podcast. This is us, yet another episode. I'm going to ask my co-hosts to introduce themselves yet again.
Owen,
ngoja. Nilikuwa nimeandika. Ikapotea.
mabibi na mabwana.
But si tunaendelea from the last episode. Did I even introduce myself in the last episode?
You okay? Yeah.
No,
I
I was in the last...
somewhere.
Koitalel.
Koitalel.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who are you in this episode?
Koitalel.
Koitalel. It's a continuation of last week.
So
Alright.
because... Continue.
Fair enough. Please continue.
Yeah, you can see I was serious about continuing last week that I came with the same outfit. So shout out to continuations.
But then you're the only authentic one.
Yeah. As you can see, Koitalel today decided to dress his mic. He said his mic needs to have a hat. And with that, with that, I think, guys, I have a would you rather as we're continuing with last week's episode. So my would you rather is, it's a very simple one. It's a very, it's a bit close to my heart. Would you rather date someone who is always texting you, or someone who is always busy but makes an effort to see you?
Someone who's always busy but makes an effort to see you.
Same.
That was too easy. Fine, I have one last one. Would you rather date someone who is always talking about themselves, or someone who is always listening to you?
Someone who's always listening to you.
Always to
Actually,
mean they never talk
no.
about themselves.
For me, it's neither, but...
The answer should be neither.
Yeah, for me, it's neither.
Because if someone is always listening to you, then you become the person that you don't want to
Yeah,
be with.
you know,
Someone
exactly.
who's always talking about themselves.
Exactly.
I agree.
Wanasema niko hapa distracted. Mimi nakwambia tukisema tuanze.
Good.
Niko alert, bro.
Fair
Now the
enough.
last one. Would you rather date someone who's always making fun of you, or someone who's always making you laugh?
Making me laugh. Why would you want to make fun of me?
Well, for me, I'd like to think it's both. There's I make you laugh and we'll always have banter. It's the Kenyan way.
But they're making fun of you, not
Yeah,
necessarily.
that's what banter is.
No.
Okay.
Kuna trauma?
Yes.
Oh.
Making fun of me connotates like I'm the laughing stock in this case. We're not laughing together. You're making fun of me.
There was someone who used to make, like, in a relationship setting.
But school, class,
What did they used to make?
children can be so mean. You, for example,
What did they tell
I could
you?
have made a mistake at some point. You know, I'm always zoning out. There's a page in the primary standard. I was in class 5. I don't remember the name of the book, but no, the book with the lady walking on staircase, like when you
Primary maths.
It was math.
Yeah.
I was reading something from the book about an inspector, and I'm reading, but trust you me, I was not listening to what I'm reading. So I said something to the tune of, Inspector Mwala amefanya XYZ, but the book is not talking about Inspector Mwala. It's Inspector someone. So the class burst out laughing, and I don't know what it is. Even the teacher is laughing, because them laughing is what actually took me back, and I'm like, okay, we're in class, we're reading, I'm in a
Inspector
mathematics
Mwala.
class.
So did they keep calling Inspector Mwala after that?
No.
They should have
But
been.
it's just,
They
it
should
stuck
have.
with me.
If I was...
situation.
That, they didn't even make fun of you. It
They
was
make
fine.
I
fun
was
of
not,
you.
they did.
They did not.
They laughed at me.
That's not making fun of you.
Yeah, you exist in your head a lot. I'm starting to see it. Me, if I were your teacher, ningekuwa nakuita Inspector Mwala, read fast.
No.
Now that's making fun of you. And if there were kids
And we
worth
would not
their
be
salt,
friends.
they would have called you Inspector Mwala for the rest of the year.
And that's what you'd want in a relationship?
No.
Back to the point, I would rather someone we're
But me,
laughing together.
I'm bantered like that.
Yeah, there's always banter. Like
Take me slowly. But yes, okay.
the day you give us banter, I'll show you. I'll catch it. Yeah, I'll show you.
Are you saying I haven't been giving you banter?
You do. That's what I'm saying. It's like it's a part. It's a heavy Kenyan thing.
Inakwanga ile petty.
Yeah, Hash is petty.
Yeah, she's
Very petty. Clearly, kama just out toka class 5. You can clearly
I
see.
Googled. Okay,
Sorry,
we'll talk about
class
it
six.
later on. On this episode, we are talking about still on modern dating. We want to do a part 2 to the last episode we were talking about. We talked about ghosting, implication of social media on relationships, whether love experts exist in the first place, whether there's a degree for love experts. And I think from your understanding, guys, I'd want to know, what is love for you guys? I like how you've rolled your eyes.
No, it's
After calling me
it's
petty.
such a deep question. But it's also very simple. Love is a choice.
Why that reaction? You asked him from his understanding. Why that reaction?
I did. I was hoping to
You don't
catch him
think
off
love-
guard, but okay.
Don't think love is oh yeah. Let me guess, such she makes fun of me.
And then I can be petty for 2 years.
You can be
Anyway.
petty for 2 years and you're all making fun of the person. Like, it makes no sense.
Leave me alone, or just
Go
answer the
on, Rafa.
question.
You know that meme for the guys drinking
Oh, yes,
and
yes.
then what they say.
Yeah.
What is your understanding of what love is?
Well, I'd say it's the depth that
Utaki kunywa milkshake yako?
it's the depth. Okay, for me, it's just it's the basis of human interaction. Simply put,
The basis. Oh, okay.
human interaction.
Are you saying without it we're not able to interact?
Simply put,
But
I will refine that, the basis of healthy human interaction.
that's why I said the basis of human interaction, because I was like, in my head, I was taking that you don't interact with people you don't love, and which is why offices tend to be a problem, because you're being forced to be together. These are people you're not choosing to be with. So, owing to the choice,
It's a choice.
yes.
She thought she'll catch us off guard. Now she
not
might even have
even that. It's just the word interaction for me is what is throwing me off kidogo. I don't expect to love people I work with, and I don't think it's an expectation for me to be able to work with someone.
So, what is love to you then?
I think I don't know, it's at the core of what every person is searching or would want. You seek connection with someone because of that innate need for love.
Human interaction.
Okay.
Sorry, say that
It's
again.
an innate. I think love exists for us internally, but it's the driving force for connection. It's not the basis for interaction, but the driving force that would want me to want to be your friend, make me want to be better friends with people I work with. Because, to be honest, at the end of the day, that's something we all crave for.
Yeah, basis for human interaction.
Okay.
Like you've gone back to what
Yeah,
you're
it's
saying.
got back to. Simply put. Like without it, the need for human interaction is not there.
You make the choice, then you follow it up with action.
Is there a difference between interaction and connection?
The connection
that's
comes from the
difference.
interaction.
Yeah.
Okay. I beg to. What's the
You
word?
beg to
I
Agree to disagree.
There we go, yes. Because now I'll start delving into what interaction is, what
interaction
connection
is, how can I put it? Any verbal, say, things happening between any two people. A connection is the bond, give or take. So you having an issue with interaction because I'm saying it's a basis for any.
And it's saying the lack thereof means I won't be able to interact with people.
I'm saying it would make no sense to interact. Like you said, you have the need for a connection.
All right.
But it is fine.
I'd also want to know, how do you handle conflict in
Relationships?
Yes.
For me, it's the same way I handle conflict entirely. One, it's always important to know who you're dealing with first. You can only communicate as much as can be taken. If I go speak to a goat, nothing will be transferred.
As can be taken and as you know.
Fair enough. Exactly. So, but you see, I already know because it's something I want to communicate. So when we're looking at dealing with conflict, I already know what I want to tell Raphael, but I need to find out how.
The reason why I said as much as you know is because maybe in the course of the interaction, they could bring up something and you're like, oh shit.
Okay. So yeah, sorry. So yes, one, knowing the person so that you can tailor make the conflict response to fit you and the person. So for me, it's the knowledge of the person. Always trying to assure the person that I am not attacking you in this case. I am attacking the problem. I am not against you. I am against the problem. And open clarity and communication about what discomfort or whatever feeling or whatever loss it has put me at or has put you at. And similarly so, on the other hand, if I'm the one who's causing the conflict, I'd ask the questions. So, like that. It's a methodical approach to it.
And in your situation?
Comprehension, communication, compromise, and connection.
Bas. Tosha.
Not interaction?
The 4 C's. You're really petty. Not say some interaction. Like, surely.
Okay, interaction.
Please expound.
Then you can call it DCI because D is a 4th letter, so 4 C's and I, so DCI.
DCI, yeah. Anyway, last year and the year before. Yeah, calm down. Actually, it's not even last year. It's 2023 and 2022. When I was walking through this journey of self-discovery, I made it my mission to put myself out there and be vulnerable with people. And I knew that because of how forward I am and how emotionally mature most people are, we were bound to fight.
Okay, now I get it. I was like, I took it literally, and you're taking a dig at people, so it's fine. Go on.
Yeah. We were bound to fight. And one thing that I would tell people when we had that first fight is that, look, this is good.
Yeah.
And I think I told you the same. The first fight we have is important because then now we know there's nothing that we cannot solve because we know how to solve it.
Like we're not coming from a point of naivety.
So, ukinibia do, maybe your sister is unwell and you need some money. So we know next time, okay, fine. Ask me in advance. We'll know how to navigate that. And one thing that I continue to tell people is, let's take our time and learn how to fight.
Yes.
Tusikimbize. Hii mambo ya we should know everything from the get-go. It really drains you first and foremost because you burn out as quickly as you've ignited. And then you're left more empty and with more yearning.
Yes. Dr. Love.
So when we figure out that first fight, then we know, okay, fine. Your apology language is reparation.
Oh.
Your apology language is acknowledgement of fault. Your apology language is restitution. So we go back to where it is that we were before. But most people just couldn't fathom. Like the first fight, they're like, "You've hurt me. I didn't expect you to hurt me, and now you've hurt me, and
this is it.
This is it." And then they were gone, and
It's the end of us. It ends with us.
it ends with us. And to those ones, I was like, good riddance, because you're clearly more invested in yourself than you are in putting yourself out there and being vulnerable with the other person. So that's another thing that conflict requires. It requires you to be naked in front of this other person. Not in the physical sense, in the emotional sense.
Just to make sure, just come and just
before it's taken out of context. You just lay yourself bare and you'll be like, by the way, I'm so sorry. I get very hot-headed when and it opens up doors to other things, because now you start talking about maybe some traumas that you experienced. Because now look, if I had made fun of you and I will not have gotten to know, okay, you are class 6, they laughed at you because of Inspector Mwala. Unaona? And I know something more. Like my life is richer because I know more about you. And in the same regard, you know more about me. And yeah.
I think it's still on the same point I had made in another episode. Vulnerability begets vulnerability. I don't think there's anything as scary as being vulnerable with your emotions. And dressing, you do that every other day, even if it's by yourself. But then by the time you're showing someone...
Did she just say undressing? Like,
yeah.
Like...
Yes.
Even if you're by yourself, it's easy to do.
That's easy to do. But then showing someone you're in even the things you're not able to confront yourself. And
so many things are going through my head.
That's so crazy.
Just continue.
Continue.
Even some of the issues you have with yourself, or showing someone how naked, like showing up to someone else as naked with your emotions, becomes a task. I know it's part of adulting, but I think it's the most difficult thing I've had to learn the older I get. Having this sort of discussions, even with my friends.
And it gets harder.
And showing intent with it. I feel like love is also intentional.
It's a choice.
It's okay. Who's petty now?
No.
Petty now?
Like, it's not pettiness. It's
not pettiness.
You're
in conclusion.
Yeah.
Who's petty now? But yes, I agree. I'm not disputing with that. And even
Finally.
with my friendships, we've had to make it more intentional. In terms of how you show up, making that choice to call, to meet up, and even communicating your feelings. I don't feel like you're prioritizing this relationship at this point. I feel like you put me in the back burner. We're not talking anymore. First time my friend called me out on that, I was like, what are you doing? We don't talk about things I'm doing. You don't tell me what I'm doing to my face. It's just something you passively let go, and I'm like, huyu alienda hivyo tu na tujoi ongeleshana.
It's a thing we've been saying about female relationships. You guys are not real with one another. It's fascinating.
I honestly didn't think it's something that needed work. I knew to work on romantic relationships, but not even with platonic or cordial friendships that you have. And that has been a big learning curve on my end. I'm wondering, even for guys, how do you guys maintain your friendship?
Just back to what you said. How is it that you knew how to work on a romantic relationship but
Because
struggled to work on platonic?
You need to go on dates. You need to go find out more about this other person.
You see, that's the thing. You look at what you're doing as working on a relationship. You know you need to go on dates. So meaning you push the pressure outwards for them to work on the relationship. But because you're two females in this case, both of you are in a stagnant place where you're waiting. So
You're putting pressure on the other person, and the other person is putting pressure on you.
So in a romantic relationship, I don't think you knew it, because if you know it, it's the same way. It's the same way you work on a relationship with your sister, relationship with your mother, relationship with your friends. If you're an intentional person, it cuts across the board. Now, for guys, it's much easier because we need each other.
And we also put effort.
Yeah.
Okay, what helps us is the fact that we bond shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
We bond by doing things. So like, we went and watched Harambee Stars playing Gabon. And it was the boys, inclusive of my brothers and stuff like that. And the atmosphere is fantastic. And up on the Osasa, because of the age differences, you share experiences.
Yeah.
So my younger brother got to know, hey, okay, in 4 or 5 years, this is what this looks like. In 10, 12 years, this is what I'll be looking towards and stuff like that. And it's from that camaraderie of bumping shoulders and iron turns to sharpen iron and stuff like that. So I think with the generation above us, it's being reduced to just Kamakis or Vasha or things like those ones. And there was this gentleman, I think he's called Tony Ndungu.
Yeah.
Ndungu.
No.
Yeah, he was saying that we need to have more spaces where, as men, we are doing more. And I think we are doing that. We play football every week. So I see this guy every week, and we talk almost every week.
Do you intentionally play football to stay friends? Or is it something you're both doing because you both enjoy the activity?
Both.
Is it
it's
intentional or
It's
is it
symbiotic.
coincidental?
No, it's intentional.
It's intentional.
Because one, we enjoy where we play football. There's that. And I think we also enjoy it for the camaraderie. Yes, yeah.
Camaraderie. Yeah.
And the French, now you see, you will notice the intensity and the intentionality of the friendship after the football is done. We'll have the conversations. Like the other day, like I had, there's a time, I call it therapy, but I had one of the roughest weeks last week. And the way we played football, nothing was working. So I remember he asked me after the game, are you okay? I'm just like, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, I'm just frustrated. I don't know why I'm frustrated.
It's been a rough week.
Yeah, I'm just,
football was not the best. It's not like that.
Yeah, so you see.
We drank.
Yeah.
And we watched.
We actually watched the game. We barely drank because we were all working the following day.
Yeah.
We left the bottle at his, so we barely drank, but we now got to do that. And you have to be intentional about it. And I keep on hearing how when
I honestly respect you guys because the guys who come, they'll cross the city. Like, mse anatoka Syokimau kuja kucheza Lavington.
Futa.
Yes.
Futa.
Every week.
Every week.
And it's not about the football.
It is both about the football,
And
but for you to understand the differences, if it was just about the football, you can get the football everywhere. So it's about
and
the
you
group.
can get it anywhere else.
And you understand
with another
the
group.
difference.
You can go find another group.
Because I joined it later, but we've been constantly playing football. This is what we're
Third year.
No, this is we finished the 4th year.
Yeah, we're finishing the 4th year.
Yeah. So
Where you meet every week to
every
play
Thursday,
football.
almost every Thursday. Out of the 52 weeks in a year, you'd find we've not met for probably 10,
Holidays.
10 months now.
Now let me ask you, how do you manage
Christmas. And when
with
trains,
friends who are not,
who don't have common interests.
or even in the same vicinity, like you're not very far from each other? Let's say you had a friend who's abroad. Do you make time to
100%.
call-
Yeah.
and then check in? I'm like, hi, how are
Yes.
you doing? How are you feeling this week?
Text them on a
I
daily
know.
basis.
Yeah.
On a daily
Or
basis?
even regularly. Like what works, what I can think works for us is, like for me, some of my, the beauty about boys is that your boy's boy will easily become your boy. And like ladies I've seen where
It's so
where you guys will
automatic.
have groups, but you have subgroups. You'll have people not liking each other in a group, which is weird. For dudes, it's rarely like that. Like we'll hash it out, we move it from there. Ladies, if you have like a group of 9 ladies, you'll find these 3 are together. These
Those
3 are
2.
together. They don't like us too. This one doesn't
But
like
they're
this one.
somehow
This is-
still friends.
They're all in the group.
That
yeah.
one is not liked by everyone, but
like
they
it's
don't
always
tell
so
them.
much going on. So you see, for us, one, that helps. So the fact that we'll always have so many conversations to speak about, like we keep on mentioning Mike, and we keep on mentioning our friend. Let's call him friend Advice. So let's call him Advice. We're the four of us. We are all in. Two of us are in our 20s or finishing our 20s. The others are in their 30s. One is married. Mike is married. Mike has a child. So you see the level of conversations that we'll have. We all have different experiences, different things. We all love football. You know, we talk about everything, even mass. Yeah. Like Lent, we're all Catholics. So right now we're talking about the things we gave up for Lent and stuff like that. So we genuinely, like when someone is abroad, like one of my best buds, he lives in slightly just outside Perth. If it goes a certain amount of time, you're like, hey, wait, because you used to be intentional, you'll be like, hey, call this week, or call, like, let's have a call today, or something like that. You just be intentional about it. So much so that it sifts into your being. It's the same way how if you don't hear from your sister for like 3 days,
how can I not? Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Because it's so innocuously weird to you. You're like, how can you not? You put the intention to get to a place where it feels the same way. Simply put.
And the same sort of investments even in your female friendships?
Mm-hmm. The people like they are my female friends and I call friends, yes.
Do you feel it from the both of us?
No. No.
What
that
are
we're
you
not
answering?
intentional?
You don't feel intentional?
Oh, no, I don't think we meet on a weekly basis to play football.
No.
And do...
Come on.
Are we friends?
Madam.
I think we should
I
have
am
started with are we
answering
friends?
the
We should have started with are we
question.
friends?
I'm answering the question.
I think it's something we're asking.
Inspector
Do you
Mwala.
feel you are one of our friends?
Yes.
Do you feel that?
Yes.
See.
I think the way to which I was answering this question, I am able to...
Don't play football.
No, I don't have to meet every friend every week, but this one it's by design. Yes, we meet every week.
What happens to those friends who are not as close?
Who was not?
As close by to you? I'm asking this because I find it a challenge. Unless most of my friends, we either had a sense of community or we were in the same organization, worked together or school together, and that's how, like, we
So
have
you're
that as the
friends by chance,
foundation.
not choice.
It is by choice because we still talk, just not to the extent they would like to. There's a weight I have to keep friends, probably call on a weekly or even a daily basis. And then there's things that happen in life, or there are things happening to you, you're not able to communicate or show up to all your friends on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
So now perhaps my question is, if you are not meeting every week, would you still be as close?
A system that I used with friends who, I mean, they have their own friend groups and we can't consistently meet is this month, this Saturday, or this Wednesday, or this Monday, every month, that specific week, somebody figures something to do.
And it's someone's job to figure what to do.
So you tell me, I'll show up. I tell you, you show up.
Like, you have to be crafty about it.
Oh, yeah, I see. Maybe that's where the difference when it comes to female friendships comes in. I'm able to maintain certain friendships because of Chama. Because we go to the same church. It's highly unlikely you'll call me tomorrow and ask, can we meet? And then I show up. It takes planning. And in some situations, there are groups are meeting after 3 months of planning because I'm like, this is when all of us are free. On a one-to-one basis, I don't know how many close friends would you say you have?
Oof.
On a one-to-one basis.
Like, you have a connection with Owen, you have a connection with Mike, you have a connection with this on an individual basis and not necessarily a group setting where, like, oh, mambo ya kanisa, he has to be there. Oh, mambo ya...
I see, that's the thing. All my friends are funniest. For me, all my friends have ended up being lumped into groups. Groups are because of ease of communication. Like, it makes us easy. I realize it works because it makes checking up on people quite. And then you also can't disappear. So, like, for example, like this group of 4 people we are talking about. If in an entire week, for like 4 or 5 days, people have been saying something and I've not said something, but the 3rd day, people will ask you, what's wrong with it?
Yes, I'm calling Mama.
So you'll always find yourself intently, even if it's not happening, just happening. So I don't think I'm in any group where those people are not my friends on a one-to-one basis. I'll leave the group. It's pointless. Yeah.
True.
And what's the point of the group? Understand? Unless it's those groups like my high school group. You see, that's on a one-to-one basis, but stuff like that. But my friends are my friends.
Na kunanga siri by the way.
Yeah. I'll just leave. Because you see, men really appreciate the value of
Like, it's
others.
just hit me like I don't have to text you friend advice or Mike separately.
Yeah.
Na tumetoka kwa group,
Just to work a group and it's the same thing.
mnakuja kunipea feedback
You see, for us it's much easier that way because look at the struggle you'll be in, the mental space you'll be in, and I don't want to have that thing the same time. You know, I keep on telling people, men, you find men are more solution oriented. Women like to rest in the problems. Like they want to feel the problem. We don't have an issue with feeling. It's just that for us, our biggest concern is, okay, so what are we going to do about it? So if it's already sorted, even if I was supposed to tell Raphael, like, I don't have the need to tell Raphael. And it's not that I'm not as close with Raphael, like, it's gone.
Do you have the same approach even with the female friendships that you keep?
Now, see, this is because I'm not in a group setting with females. Like, I'm
No, any female who's your friend, do you follow the same?
on
Is
what?
it copy paste?
But
No,
sana
it's not copy
depend.
paste. It
Hey.
depends. Not even with the male friendships. Not everything is copy paste. We're just talking about the things that can work for group and then the things that can work in person. Like for example, let me give you an example. When we're making an invite, we know Mike has a small child,
And a wife.
and a wife, and some other. I don't know if he's launched it yet, but and some other things. So when we're talking about meeting, in my head, I'm expecting it could be 50-50. The rest of us are all coming alone. We speak for ourselves, we stand for ourselves. We are everything that we have. You understand? So similarly, when you're like, what will work for Raphael won't work for Mike, or may not work for Mike. That doesn't mean we still don't have communal conversations and one-on-one conversations. They're still there. So it's not a copy and paste for everything. So even for female friends, the same way. I'll get to know what works for her. She'll get to know what works for me, and we both intently put effort.
Alright,
So yeah,
fair enough.
I don't think I have very many female friends, if I'm being honest. But yeah, those ones I do, I treasure them.
All right. I began the episode by asking how do you handle conflict.
Yeah.
Maybe you can tell our audience maybe 3 takeaways they can also employ in how they handle conflict in relationships, both romantic and also on an individual basis.
I like what he said. You remember when the 4 C's, the DCI?
Yes.
Yes.
I remember.
What did he
DCI.
say?
Communication, comprehension,
He started with comprehension first.
And
comprehension,
Communication. Forgetting the last two.
Connection.
No, connection was the 4th.
compromise.
Compromise. So to speak, because mine would just simply be, it was breathe, understand, communicate. So it's the same thing what he says. Comprehension. Comprehend where the conflict is coming from. Meaning you need to step out of your being to look at this out of it. You're not thinking from your feelings. You're not acting out of your feelings. You're not speaking out of your feelings. Because here you're not looking to continue the conflict. You're looking to resolve the conflict. So comprehend what the conflict is.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Before connection, there was connection, compromise. What was the second one? I keep on forgetting the second one.
Communication.
Communication. How you effectively communicate. Like you remember how we started. While I was saying,
Hey.
the microphone will pick that up, yeah?
100%. Koro, 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 koro.
Ni sawa.
Yeah, it's okay.
Whoever that is, ama uko na shida ya tumbo?
Mimi?
He's clocked it.
Yeah. Wana grind mouse or something. Wana grind mouse.
Hata ujaona kitu?
Na tukifunga hii dirisha
hakutakuwa na dirisha ingine.
Okay.
There's no air.
That was a lot.
Yeah. Oh.
I was trying to close up the session.
Anyways, so yes. Comprehension, communication. How you effectively communicate. Once you've understood what you want to say, you'll always say what you're saying with clarity. And then you'll also understand which is the best medium of communicating this question. There are people who like to figure it out for themselves, so you lead them to the answers. There are people who like it laid out on a silver platter. So understand your person because you've invested time for this person. This is a relationship you have with someone. The other one was compromise. Compromise is the ability to take on land that there could be the fact that, or there is the fact that this conflict is coming from the both of you. Many a times you'll find most issues are not one-sided. They've been fed into by both parties and both sides. So you need to give ground to be able to move forward together. You need to leave the eye so that the we can move. And last but not least, all these things now will give into the connection. You'll feel understood. You'll feel valued. You'll feel treasured. You'll feel connected. Period. So that's all I can say.
All right, thank you. Please make sure to leave us comments or even your story. We'd want to hear what your experience has been. What do you use to resolve conflicts in your relationship? And then stay tuned for the next episode. There's always more to follow. Bye, guys.